So how are you both feeling in terms of your bodies today?
Achy.
Achy in which bits?
My lower back and my knees have been...
Lower back and knees. And you?
I'm good.
You're just good?
I'm good.
Just good.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Good.
Do you reckon you can sit and kneeling like this?
Yeah.
You really are. Brilliant. Well, the way to do it is to touch your big toes together and let your heels fall apart so your bum's got a little bit of space to sit into. Use the muscles in your thighs to give yourself a really firm squeeze, and this gives you a strong foundation. And it's that strong foundation that you then launch up as you sit upright. So again, like everything in our yoga practices, we're aiming for a strong straight spine. And that strong straight spine gives us space in our tummy so we can breathe from this space rather than from this space. So as you sat upright, bring your hands into your lap, right palm on top of left. Broaden your shoulders, make any little wriggles or adjustments you need to make. Allow your eyes to close. And just turn the volume down. On the outside works a little bit. And it's this turning down of the external volume that allows us to be a bit more aware of what's going on inside in our body, what our mind's doing today. Are we thinking about yesterday? Is there stuff coming that our mind is drawing us to? And just using these few moments to get really present, to become really focused on what's going on here and now. And probably the most obvious thing is that feeling of breathing. It's this feeling of breath that is with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether we are aware of it or not. And these yoga practices gradually train us to be a bit more aware of what's going on with our breath. Because how we're breathing has a really profound effect on how we feel. You'll probably start to notice over the coming days and weeks and months that when you're stressed, your breath is really shallow and short. And those times when you're most relaxed are when your breath is long and soft. So as you're sat in here, still and easy, just see if you can start taking the reins a little bit of your breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. And see if you can bring a little bit of balance to the breath so that the inhales and the exhales are about the same length. How I do that, how I've always been taught to do that, is to count in my head. An easy count of 5 on the inhale, with a little pause at the top of the breath, followed by an easy count of 5 for your exhales. And balancing out the breath like this, again, we've got our physical foundation with kneeling posture, Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose, which we're sat in now. And we lay on top of that our foundation for breath. So we start from this place of stillness, we start from this place of strength and balance and poise. And just see if it's possible to keep this feeling that we have here and now as we move through the rest of our practice today. There will be times that the breath wanders off, and that's fine. There'll be times when we don't feel so still, things get a bit stirred up, that's equally acceptable. Just gently remind yourself to come back to this balanced breath and use that as your anchor. And now we've got a little bit closer to this balanced breath, we're going to stir things up using a dynamic breath practice, which We're already familiar with double breathing, 2 short, sharp inhales through the nose, followed by 2 short, sharp exhales through your wide open mouth. However, usually when we do this, we're laying down. So it's a little bit different today. We've got the space in our belly to do it because we're sat upright. We're going to take 3 sets of 5 breaths. So when you're ready, set this all up with a big inhale through your nostrils. Feel the breath fill all the way up to the crown of your head. Empty with a long R breath exhale, like a big sigh. Feel the tummy pull in and count your 5 double breaths. Big inhale through the nose. And a long R breath. Take a moment, just a little pause in between our dynamic breath sets. And we've got our second round, big inhale through the nose. A long R breath. Counting our 5. Big inhale. And an R breath. And feel that relaxation deepen. This stirring up of the energy with this dynamic breath practice, allowing us to drop deeper into that relaxed state that comes at the bottom of our exhales. Third round, big inhale nose. And a long R breath. Our final 5. Big inhale nose. This time pause at the top of the breath. Feel everything get big, open up. And then that long R breath exhale, the big sigh. Feeling that pressure release as you empty your body of breath and float down into that still space one more time. You can let go of control of your breath for just a moment or two, and maybe it pauses. Maybe when the breath does come back in, it's a little bit more subtle and a little bit more soft. But just take a moment to bask in this feeling of still and calm energy. Really allow this feeling that you've just created with a bit of stillness and a bit of dynamic breath. Really allow that to permeate every cell in your whole system. And as the breath starts to come back in, again, take the reins with your balanced inhale and exhale. Inhaling, you're counting to 5, and then exhaling, you're counting to 5. And again, once you establish that breath rhythm, we're going to start to make some movements through our body. So the first one is to bring the palms together, pressing the thumbs into the sternum, hands to the heart, bow the head. Feel that stretch through the shoulders, through the back of the neck, as you've come into a new shape, subtly different. We're going to start working some more stretch into our shoulders by using an inhale to stretch your arms tall, arm release, as you look up to the sky at the peak of your inhale. And as you breathe out, heavy elbows, thumbs onto the sternum, bow the head. 2 more like this. Inhaling, stretching tall. And exhaling back to the heart. 1 more. Big inhale, tall. Stretch out as much as you can. And then exhale back to the heart with a bow of the head. And we're going to lift all the way up on the inhale. And this time, as we come down, we're going to hinge from the waist. Bring the hands down if you need to support yourself, and we're coming into baby pose. You can stretch your hands forward on an inhale to create some length between your tailbone and the tips of your fingers. If you need to, you can shift your body weight from side to side and count out 3 of your balanced breaths in. As always, feel free to nod your head yes, shake your head no, make any intuitive little wriggles that your body tells you to as you start to listen to your body and unwind those bits of tension that we've stored in our muscles over the course of the week. After your 3 breaths, we're going to come into all fours. We'll take cat and dog tilt for a few breaths. When you're ready, inhale, bring yourself up. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips, tops of the feet and the shins pressing firmly into the floor. Again, we've got that strong foundation with our neutral spine. We've got our balanced breath, and when you're ready, an inhale will tweak the tailbone up, looking forwards and up, feeling that arch in our lower back. And as you exhale, pushing through the palms, tucking the tailbone underneath, looking towards your belly button and feeling that stretch along the tops of your back and shoulders. And feeling that curve along the spine as you inhale and exhale between these 2 shapes. And slowly, slowly, slowly over the course of our few repetitions in these shapes, we're working more and more flexibility, more and more curve along the length of our spine. Creating space in between our ribs as we breathe in, opening up our chest, and as we breathe out, feeling those tummy muscles, that core pull us tight. Accentuating the arch in the spine, breath by breath. And our next movement will be working into our hips and our hamstrings. So those tummy muscles that you're feeling come tight when you're in cat, it's those same tummy muscles that as you look forward and bring your left foot in between your palms on an inhale, it's those same muscles that move that foot. So use those tummy muscles, use your breath to bring your left foot forward in between your palms. If you need to come onto your fingertips, that's okay. Make any wiggles or adjustments you need to. Keep the tummy long, look forward as you inhale, and then as you exhale, start gently nudging back into your hamstrings. Feel the bite point, feel that point where your hamstring says hello. Inhale, move away from it, move into your hip flexor, feel the front. And as you exhale, gliding your bum back towards your heel, feeling the back of the hamstring, where it tells you to pause. And again, we're moving between these 2 edges of our range of motion. And breath by breath, each inhale pushes us a little bit further forward into our hips. The knee comes a little bit further over the toes. Each exhale, our bum comes a little bit closer towards that heel. We're stretching the hamstring now. As always, these movements in the shoulders, in the neck, in the head, just creaking out any bits of tension And swapping sides. When you're ready, bring the right foot in between. Again, onto the fingertips, tummy long, and the inhale nudges you forwards, and the exhale slides you back. And we build up this stretch gradually, so there's no rush to get to the extreme points of our range of motion. We're just using our breath and our movement to subtly open up, to subtly expand. And in this way, we're not bullying the body, we're gently reminding it that our range of motion is controlled by how relaxed we are. We're going to come into standing, so take a step forward, bring both feet together at the front of your mat. We've got our first forward bend of the day, so your knees will probably want to be soft with a little bit of a bend in them. An inhale will stand you up tall, stretching to the sky, and an exhale will bring you back to your heart, where you can close your eyes and take a few breaths. Again, using this moment of stillness to realign and to bring yourself back to that balanced breath rhythm if you've moved away from it at all. This stillness is that perfect counterpoint to the movement. So as we move through our practice, we're balancing our system by being dynamic and then by being still. Giving ourselves equal weighting of both energy types through this practice of yoga. And having warmed up our body a little bit with this breath and movement, we're going to turn the heat up a little bit more by using sun salutations. This is a dynamic series of 12 postures. We're pretty familiar with these now, so when you're ready, join me. A big inhale, reaches our arms up towards the ceiling, and a wide wingspan. Fold us from the hips so we come into our first forward bend. Right leg steps back, we come into our lunge, eyes forward, heart forward, and as we breathe out, we come into downward facing dog. The next breath in, we're in plank posture, our press up position. And as we breathe out, the knees come down and our heart comes in between our hands. We scoop ourselves forward and up on an inhale for Cobra, and we sweep ourselves back into downward facing dog as we breathe out. The right foot comes forward on the inhale, the left foot joins it as we breathe out. Arms raised, inhale, back to the heart. Exhale. That same series of postures on the left hand side now, just the breath instruction. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in, left leg lunge, and out, downward dog. Inhale to plank, exhale, knees, chest and chin. Breathing into Cobra. Breathing out to downward dog. Left foot forwards on the inhale, right foot forwards as you breathe out. Arms raised and back to the heart. One complete round of sun salutation is the bare minimum for your daily practice. Number 2, inhale and exhale. Right leg. Breathe out, down dog. Plank. Knees, chest and chin. Cobra. Down dog. side, inhaling, and exhaling. Feeling the heat start to build, left leg back, eyes forward, heart forward. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Knees, chest and chin as we breathe out. Cobra on the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Left leg. And the right leg. And a big inhale. And back to the heart. One more, right side. No instructions, just your breath and the movement. Really using these repetitions to anchor this flow of postures and breath deep into your muscle memory. Left hand side. Each repetition being smoother and more fluid than the last as you refine your practice. Each breath balanced and even. And having completed 3 rounds, we come back to our heart, we close the eyes, and we watch as again that dynamic set of movements that stirred up our breath, that's made things a bit challenging, that's brought the heat in, is counterbalanced by this stillness. And the slight challenge to our breathing from this practice, that slight amount of stress that's come from trying to breathe at the same time as you move, you can let go of as your breath comes back to that easy, balanced rhythm. And because these practices are so simple and so easy, there really is no excuse now. One of these, as the bare minimum, when you wake up in the morning, gives you a full body workout. The only other thing that your body really needs is a twist. So, when you're ready, come down to the floor. Sit yourself in whatever cross-legged position is comfortable. Sit your spine upright, all the fleshy bits of your bum out. So you're on the front of your sitting bones, and again using that foundation to sit up tall. When you've found that height, take your left hand, pop it on your right knee, your right fingertips come gently behind you. And we've got this twist through our midsection that starts at the hips, moves through our belly. Our heart starts shining towards the side, and our eyes start coming over that right shoulder towards the back of the room. And we've still got our balanced breath here, but because we're sat, because things are a bit stiller, the breath might be a bit more subtle. But again, count your breaths, feel how your breathing is different in this twist. Feel where the tight points are. Can you feel your ribs? Can you feel your belly? Is your neck tight? Your shoulders? How's your jaw? Make some circles with your head, because that feels lovely. And don't worry about any clicks and crunches, because that is the sound of your tension leaving your body. Sides. So an inhale brings us back to centre, and an exhale, right hand onto the left knee, left finger sits behind, and we take our journey into a twist. And just like cat and dog tilt, we're not rushing to the extremes of the twist, we're just gently nudging in, feeling where the sensations start to come in, and then breathing into that sensation. And gradually, as you breathe, each exhale softens your body and maybe gives you a little bit more space, a bit more capacity to rotate first your belly, then your heart, then your shoulders, and then your eyes over your left shoulder this time. Centre. Send your feet out in front of you. Again, pull the bum cheeks out behind you. Find the bony bits of your bottom. From here, you can inhale to sit up tall, and an exhale to bring your hands first onto your shins. And we're going to move into a forward bend from here, so gradually we'll be reaching towards our toes. However, that can take some time, and ideally, each inhale, we're getting more space between our hips and our ribcage, and each exhale, we're gently leaning in, feeling the tension in the back of the legs, feeling that lower back, and we're using the strength in our arms to support ourselves as we go deeper into the forward bend on the exhale. The inhale lifts us up, the exhale takes us back in. And maybe on the inhales, you can look forward, you can look up to the ceiling. And at the bottom of the exhales, maybe you're looking in towards your knees or your belly button. A couple more breaths like this, inhaling, away from the tension, exhaling, back in towards it. And over the course of a few breaths, our hands get a little bit closer to our toes, our chest gets a bit closer to our thighs, our forehead a bit closer to our shins. And inhale, sits us upright. Feel those tummy muscles, firm those legs, and slowly lay yourself down, lowering yourself down onto your back. Alright, using those core muscles. When you get down onto your back, make some wriggles, get comfortable. Bring both knees into your chest, make a bind around your shins, give yourself a hug, rock from side to side, feel that curve between your left hip and your right hip. Feel the pressure move from your left shoulder to your right shoulder as you rock from side to side, and feel how that gives you a little massage. Back to centre as you calm those rocking motions down. Take a couple of breaths and feel how, on the inhale, your belly presses against your thighs and creates a pressure that wants to push your knees away from your body. As you exhale, you can use the strength in your upper body, your arms and your shoulders, your biceps, to squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Feel how it peels the tailbone off the floor, creating a curve on your spine. Inhale, knees move away from your chest, tailbone comes back to the floor. Exhale, give yourself a squeeze and peel your tailbone and those first few vertebrae off the ground. One more like this. Inhaling, knees away from you, tailbone down. Exhale, knees towards you, curving on the spine. And now we're going to accentuate this curve on the length of our spine, using the same inhale, exhale flow, but this time as you exhale, see if you can bring your forehead to your knees. And then you inhale, you're coming back flat to the mat, tailbone down, back of the head meets the floor. Exhale, forehead to knees. Inhale, back to one more. Exhaling, squeezing, and inhaling, open. Give yourself a wriggle, make some adjustments. Take your right foot, place your ankle on your left knee. Need to take a look rather than two. There you go. You've got a space between your thighs. Take your right hand and post it through. Your left hand comes around the outside of your left leg and make a bind around your shoulder. And see how firmly and flat you can squeeze your spine into the floor as you breathe here in this hip opener. And maybe you want to rock from side to side, that's fine. Maybe you've got open hips and you want to squeeze that left knee in, using the strength of your upper arms. So you're exhaling and squeezing just like we did a moment ago, and you're inhaling and releasing. And just a few breaths in this hip opener, feeling how it stretches your bottom and the outside of that right thigh as you start to open up your hips in this way. And we're going to switch sides. So left ankle over the right knee, bind around the right shin this time. There you go, through the middle, well done. There we go. Count out your few breaths. So maybe you want to rock from side to side. Maybe you just want to squeeze it in deep. Your body's giving you messages, it's telling you what to do every moment. It's just very often we are very busy and we are very distracted from what our body is telling us. These tensions, these creaks and groans of our muscles and clicks, just the body's messages telling you that you're holding a bit of tension and it's possible to bring some relaxation and some softness to that. Under your legs, send your feet far away, lay down flat on your back, make the wriggles and adjustments you need to come into Shavasana, our final relaxation pose. Rotate your palms so they face up towards the ceiling. The eyes are closed, and we are coming internal one more time. It's nice that it's quite a warm day, so we don't necessarily need a blanket or a hoodie to keep us warm. But you can let go of your breath rhythm as you now come into stillness for our final relaxation pose. And having let go of our breath rhythm, we can still notice the breath moving through our body, right? We can still be aware of the sensation of the belly rising on the inhale and the belly falling back towards the spine on the exhale. And it's this sensation that again is our anchor to keep us in the present moment. Just like the sounds from the kids playing next door, or the sounds of the traffic. All of this sensory input is here and now. And we get to choose how we label this input. We can label it as good or bad. If you choose to label the traffic noise or the kids playing bad and distracting and stopping you from relaxing, well, that's what you'll manifest. If you choose to label it as just simply noise in the background that you are within, you are present with, then again, that is the feeling that you'll get, the awareness that you'll cultivate. And it's patient and persistent practice of this equanimity, this idea that there's no such thing as good or bad, it's just how we label it, that starts to train this way of thinking into our system, starting with the occasional yoga class and culminating with practicing this sort of thing every day. And this way of thinking, way of approaching life, starting to permeate our every breath and our every interaction. So allow yourself to rest deeply in this space. This practice that we've completed today is the basic bare minimum of a daily yoga practice. Having opened our shoulders up with our arm raises and stretched our lower back out with baby pose. Having brought depth and flexibility to the curve along the length of our spine using cat and dog tilt. Or bringing that heat, that solar energy that is always present into every cell of our being using sun salutations. And we've squeezed out the tension along our spine, wringing it out like a wet tea towel using our twists. Or how we've opened our hips with those reclined pigeon poses. This simple, short practice, potently working our whole body so that this whole body can support us as we move through life. Bringing this flexibility, bringing this relaxation, and using these classes to anchor these feelings into our body so that we know it's available, so that we know deeply that we're in control of that feeling, that just 45 minutes can make us feel like this, and that's pretty flipping empowering to know that you're the one that has that control over how you feel. So using these final few moments to really marinate in that feeling of activated stillness. Incredibly calm, yet at the same time incredibly present and aware, able to respond rather than react, which might be fairly useful with all of the stimulus that life gives us, asking us to react. yourselves a wriggle through the fingers, wriggle through the toes. Move the wrists and ankles, slowly waking the body up from its stillness. Move the knees, move the elbows, rotate the wrists, move your hips, gently, gently, gently. Bend your knees, bring your feet up a little bit closer to your bottom, and then roll over onto your left hand side. Make a little pillow for your hands. And as you become ready, you can bring yourself up into a seated cross-legged position. Bring your hands to your heart, press your thumbs into your sternum. Bow your head. Close your eyes. As always, at the end of our practice, we just plant those seeds of gratitude, of appreciation. Not about any specific thing, simply creating that feeling of gratitude. Directing it out to thousands of years of people who have diligently cultivated these practices and passed them down so that we can benefit here and now. For the space that we're in and for the people that we're with, as we support each other on this journey of learning how to practice yoga. Because it's a lot easier to do it in a group than it is to do it at home on your own. And directing that appreciation and gratitude towards ourselves, because we've taken some time out to cultivate calm, to create health and flexibility in our body. We've shown up for ourselves just for one more day.